Hello students, we shall be discussing about mercury pollution today. It is sources, forms of mercury and the types of exposure. I am Dr. F. A. Lone, Division of Environmental Sciences, Trust Kashmir. The broad outline of this lecture is that we should first study what is mercury, what is the importance of mercury, sources both natural and anthropogenic, then mercury pollution in India, how does mercury goes into the environment, harmful forms of mercury, types of mercury exposure, and then mercury biomagnification. As far as the mercury is concerned, mercury is an element on the periodic table with symbol Hg, hydrogram in Greek, and the atomic number of mercury is 80. It has shiny silver appearance, which gives it the nickname liquid silver. It is unique because it's classified as metal and comes in both liquid and solid forms depending on the temperature. As far as the importance of mercury is concerned, it has several uses because it is a conductor and allows electricity and heat to flow through it. For this reason, mercury is found in thermometers, street lights, and fluorescent light bulbs. Mercury compounds have many applications in mining of gold and some industrial processes. It has also been used as a fungicide to protect plants against infection. And mercury chloride is one of the active ingredients of skin brightening creams, which are used to remove flecks and spots of the skin due to excessive accumulation of melanin. And then it's also being used in jewelry and dental amalgam. Then harmful forms of mercury. It's found in air, water, and soil, and occurs in three forms which are harmful to the human body. The first form is the elemental mercury. It is a liquid mercury, or you can say the quicksilver. It's found in glass thermometers, electrical switches, fluorescent light bulbs, and dental fillings. It is liquid at room temperature and can be readily evaporated to produce vapor. Then you have got inorganic mercury. This form of mercury is found in batteries, certain types of disinfectants, and in chemistry labs. Organic mercury, it's found in coal fumes, fish that eat methyl mercury, a form of organic mercury, and older antiseptics, germ killers like red mercurochrome. As far as the source of mercury are concerned, there are two sources. One is called a natural source, and another one is the anthropogenic source. As far as the natural is concerned, you have got the cinnabar ore. It is a toxic mercury sulfide with a chemical composition of HGS. It is the only important ore of mercury, as you see in the picture also. Then the other sources are volcanoes, forest fires, and fossil fuels such as coal and the petroleum. Then you have got anthropogenic sources of mercury like area sources, which include landfills, dental preparations and laboratory use, combustion processes like coal-fired power generation, medical waste, incinerators and municipal waste combustors, and then you have got manufacturing of the metals like alkalis and cement, etc., and also the industrial process making batteries, thermometers, etc. So these are the sources of the different forms of the mercury. Then mercury pollution of India. This is a report from the Center for Science and Environment. It was published in 2012 and it has been downloaded from the Down to Earth. Mercury is a very toxic and dangerous substance. It has severely contaminated land, water, air, and the food chain throughout India. And according to Dr. R.C. Srivastava, co-chairman of the United Nations Environment Program, chemicals working group mercury contamination in India is reaching alarming levels, largely due to the discharge of mercury-bearing industrial effluents ranging from 0.058 to 0.268 milligrams per liter. This is several times more than the prescribed Indian and WHO standards. Then high levels of mercury in fish stocks have been found mainly in coastal areas in Mumbai, Kolkata, Karwar in Karnataka, and North Koil in Bihar. These are some of the areas which are severely affected. In Mumbai and Karwar, mercury levels in fish, crabs, and oysters have been found much higher compared to the permissible limits. The North Koil River in Jharkhand, it showed mercury concentration almost 600 to 700 times above the limits. Mercury in groundwater and surface water has also been found in Delhi, Mumbai, Vadodara, Vapi, Ankleshwar, Bhopal, Panipat, Singrauli, Ganjam, Dhanbad, Durgapur, Howrah, Medak, etc. Lower levels higher than the permissible levels have also been found near chloro-alkali cement and chemical units and thermal power plants. And then chloro-alkali sector, the biggest known consumer of mercury in India, released almost 79 tons of the toxin into the atmosphere between 1997 to 2000. According to Dr. Srivastava, chloro-alkali industries located on the river basins, they release 60 to 320 times more mercury than the permissible limits into the rivers. So it is one of the important issues in India also. Then Indian Minamata, which is also being quoted from the Down to Earth, and in this you will find that one of the important places is the Singrauli, Madhya Pradesh, highly contaminated with the mercury pollution. And a study was carried out by Indian Institute of Toxicology Research in 1998, and they examined over 12,000 people, and it was found that mean mercury level in their blood was significantly higher. 66% of the people examined had more than 5 pp mercury in their blood. Mean mercury in here was also significantly higher. 23% of the vegetables had mercury levels higher than the permissible limits, while 15% of the drinking water samples had mercury more than the permissible limits of 1 ppb. The mercury level were also found to be significantly high in fish, and also reports of mercury contamination in Chilkadad, Dilboganj, Kherahi, Kirwani, and Obra village of Sundhabdara district in Uttar Pradesh. And also cases of stillbirths, menstrual irregularities, sterility, hyperpigmentation, anemia, and high blood pressure are high in the region, say people of that area, and the residents know that coal mines and the thermal power plants are the reasons behind their ailments. So this is one of the important reports which was published in 2012 about the mercury pollution in India, which is called as the India's Minamata. Then how does mercury goes into the environment? Mercury is introduced into the environment in 3 ways. First, mercury is emitted into the air naturally from volcanoes, the weathering of rocks, forest fires, and soils. Second, mercury is emitted into the air from the burning of fossil fuels and municipal or medical wastes. Thirdly, mercury can be introduced into the environment through natural processes such as evaporation of ocean water, etc. And according to the US Environmental Protection Agency's 2014 National Emissions Inventory Report, power plants that burn coal to create electricity are the largest source of emissions. They account for about 42% of all the man-made mercury emissions. And what is mercury poisoning? Mercury contamination, as you know, mercury is able to travel long distance in the air. Mercury in the air is deposited into the water. Bacteria in lakes, streams, and ocean sediments then convert elemental mercury into organic mercury compound, such as methyl mercury. And mercury is persistent, bioaccumulating, and toxic pollutant. When released into the environment, it accumulates in water, laid sediments, where it converts into toxic methyl mercury and enters the food chain. Mercury contamination is a significant public health and environmental problem because methyl mercury easily enters the bloodstream and affects the brain, and mercury vapor is more hazardous than the liquid form. Organic mercury compounds such as methyl mercury or ethyl mercury are more toxic than the inorganic compounds of the mercury. Then the types of mercury exposures, as you know, that there are 2 types of the exposures as far as mercury is concerned. One is called as acute exposure, which is a short contact with the chemical, and it may last a few seconds or a few hours. Then you have got chronic exposure. It is a continuous or repeated contact with a toxic substance over a long period of time, maybe sometimes months or years. If a chemical is used every day on the job, the exposure would be chronic. Then the last one is the biomagnification potential of the mercury. It is an important heavy metal known for its biomagnification potential in the environment. It is the process by which heavy metals become more concentrated at higher trophic levels of food chain, as you see in the picture also. They are generally non-biodegradable. They get incorporated into the food chain and ultimately gets deposited in the fatty tissues of animals and humans. In the food chain, because of their build-up, they get magnified in their higher trophic levels, which is known as biological magnification. The consumption of fish is by far the most significant source of ingestion-related mercury exposures in humans and animals. And mercury and methyl mercury are present in only very small concentrations in seawater. However, they are absorbed usually as methyl mercury by algae at the start of the food chain. So this is the picture showing the biomagnification potential of the mercury. From the water, it will go into the algae, then it will be taken up by the algae eating insects, then insects will be taken up by the bigger animals like fish, then the small fish will be taken up by the big fish, and once the big fish is consumed by the human beings, then this is what we call as basically the biomagnification of the mercury in the trophic levels. Thank you students for watching this video. All the best. Take care.